Don't you hate it when you're just chilling, doing your work, or playing games? Then all of a sudden this happens. Yeah, me too. But let's start with the basics. What is a computer? Well, a computer can be in many different forms. Could be in a form of a tablet. Could be one of these laptops that are really, really colorful. Then you got ones that it's just a box. You have to buy them on it. But these computers basically have the same gimmicks. Speaking of mechanics, how does a computer work? How a computer works is by reading and writing code. The code that a computer uses is called binary, a code that only uses zeros and ones. What helps the computer read and write the binary code is using a Turing machine. They help read and write the binary code. So when you type in a word, the computer will first show the binary code, and then the Turing machine will help translate the code to the normal English language. What is inside the Turing machine is multiple microtransistors that determine what makes a 0 and what makes a 1. So it's basically like little light switches. If the light is on, it would be a 1. If the light is off, then it would be a 0. Where a lag can happen in the transistors is when there was an error being made from one of the bits. When an error is made, the Turing machine has to go back into the transistors, figure out which bit made the problem, and has to fix it, which causes the computer to slow down. We know how a computer reads and writes its code, but how does it store its information? Well, there's two locations. There is your RAM, or depending on your computer, your hard drive or your solid state drive. Let's start with the HDD and SSD. The main difference between the two is that the HDD uses a disk to store its data, and the SSD uses a microchip. But in terms of storing data, they only store long-term memory, meaning data that's going to stay there for a long time. Then there is the RAM. The RAM stores info in short-term memory, meaning the files that are in there for a short amount of time. And finally, where the computer controls all its components is the CPU. In other words, the brain of the computer. So all the files that the hard disk drive has are read by the CPU, and then the CPU transfers that data to the RAM. So from all of this, why would these cause a lag? Well, the main reason is because your RAM is low on memory, and since it's low on memory, the CPU can't send it to the RAM, so it has to send it back to the hard drive. By the hard drive holding all the data, it makes the computer more loaded and slow, causing the computer to lag. So the CPU and the RAM are in a cycle of sending data, and if the RAM is full, the CPU has to find another source of storage to send it to, and that's why I send this to the hard drive. But one man said, to every problem there will be a solution. But for this one, we got many. One solution would be to add more RAM into your computer. Adding more RAM into your computer will give more space to store and access data for the CPU to read and write on. Another solution to this problem would be to defrag your HDD. How defragmentation works is that it reduces the amount of fragmented files on a hard drive and puts those related files in the same location. It's another way of saying organizing your files. Let's say that your RAM is full and you need an alternative location for your files, but you look at your hard drive and it looks so messy that it's even more confusing than the hardest level of Pac-Man. Like, look at this. Looks like Picasso tried to make an art piece in your drive, but instead made piles of poop. So, how do we fix it? For this, I'm going to show you a demonstration. Get on the home screen of your laptop, go to the search bar below, type in DE, and it should already show up defragment and optimized devices. Now click open, if I can find it. Now it opened to the window, and all you want to do is just click optimize. And now your files are all organized. Then the last solution would be to delete unnecessary files from your hard drive. All you have to do is just go into your hard drive. Gosh, that looks so messy. And then go to your files, and then just click on ones that you don't really need anymore. And then you just click delete. Deleting files will give you more space in your computer, and there might be some files that you never really seen before. If you've never seen that file, don't click it. That might be a sign of malware. Malware can be formed in viruses, worms, or from programs like Trojan, ransomware, spyware, etc. All of these programs can seriously damage your computer and your files, and having a risk of it getting hacked. So by deleting files, not only does it give you more space in your computer, but also gives you a low chance of getting hacked. Thank you for watching.